This is going to be a very short investigation of this cave painting located in Spain, more specifically looking at the bent rectangle shapes in this image, referred to as tectiforms by anthropologists. This means roof shapes, and I believe that they are often viewed with the longest direction running horizontal. But we are not going to do that today. In order to remove these shapes from context, I have chosen to utilize an old art critiquing trick of flipping the image 180 degrees. I have then numbered 4 of these rectangles to indicate a progression of movement, adding a straight line from number 1 past number 4. By doing this, it will allow you to see that these shapes are not just rectangles, but curved planes, suspended in space, facing each other, and hopefully stimulate thought as to just why these shapes were placed on this wall in this arranged position. Mathematically, knowledge of curved planes was not developed until the 18th century. You will notice that what anthropologists regard as raindrop shapes, I like to think of them as hippie curtains, that they recede behind 2 of the closest rectangles, adding to the illusion of depth. This optical trick was not discovered or utilized by two-dimensional painters until the Italian masters such as Giotto in the 12th or 13th century, and the concept of linear perspective, having a closer object appear larger than a more distant object, was not seen in works until the early Renaissance periods of the 1400s. You can also see that the closer shapes, rectangle shapes, are darker, and the further away rectangle shapes are lighter. This also helps show depth. In this image, note that the natural break or fold in the stone wall has been utilized for a point of change in the direction of flow of the dots. In this next image, I have again added numbers 1, 2, 3 to indicate a direction of movement, and I would like you to notice the side panel located by the number 1 as it progresses towards the number 3. The first panel is clearly open, the second slightly filled in, and the third almost completely filled in. My interpretation of this is as a progression through time, indicating a knowledge of time or sequential events. Lastly, I would like to point out the use of these border dots to produce what could be seen as either positive or negative space. This diagram I added just to show the mathematics involved in curved planes. And finally, once again, the original image inverted 180 degrees back to its original position.